Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Home Impodcast time.
That's right. Binford Tools is proud to present a Home Improvement Podcast. My name is Adam. You all know my co-host, Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
Hi, Adam. I feel like I'm in a better headspace now, so we can start the episode.
Yeah, Jordan, sorry I had to take you to task just now, but we started an introduction, and it just wasn't, we just weren't on the same page.
No, I feel like the rest of this episode, I'm going to be like a dog with my, my tail in between my legs.
My exact wording was, Jordan, you're not playing ball. And then I sort of childishly stopped recording and deleted it forever. So no one's going to ever hear what that sounded like. But I think
it's unfortunate.
For the sake of the podcast, I think it's probably okay. But I suspect it's all up from here.
I mean, I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out. But
why don't you go ahead and set it up like you did last time?
I'm going to set it up. So, in the news lately, IHOP said they were going to change their name to IHOB. People thought, that's so strange. It ended up being a big ploy. Got him a lot of attention, notoriety, what have you. Whether it was stupid or not, it seems to have kind of been successful. Jordan, kind of related to IHOB, we'll say IHOP. I wanted to kind of plant a seed today in the way that I often plant seeds on this show, or use that saying. That
you definitely harvest them later.
We're going to harvest them later, exactly right. So I wanted to just say today, I want us to think, maybe next week, maybe 2 weeks, about a couple of home improvement-inspired dishes that we would have at a special home improvement diner. What do you think of that?
So your intro today is essentially punting the intro to a couple of weeks from now. That's when more. You've reached pinnacle podcasting.
I have more to say on it, but I want to plant the seed now that maybe
a couple of home improvement themed dishes.
Yeah, maybe next week after, let's have a list, maybe 3 or 4, 2 or 3 home improvement themed dishes for a special home improvement diner. People love food, Jordan. Food's a big thing right now. It's kind of hot, and I think we need to capitalize on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Food is only going to be hot for the next about week or so.
I've noticed lately, food is just really hot right now. It's very, it's prevalent.
It's always trending on Twitter. We should, as we do this for ourselves, we should put the call out there to our listeners to also supply some home improvement themed food dishes that they'd like to share with us. So, you've got a couple of weeks to put those together apparently, and tweet them at us at Home Impodcast, and we'll talk about them on air. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be great. So I'm excited for that in a couple of weeks. Now, with regards to this week, there's food in the episode.
There's food in the episode. It's another kielbasa-based episode, so we will get into that. But Jordan, I just kind of want to take your temperature. I wanted to take your temperature on the IHOP thing. Now I just kind of want to take your temperature in general. How are you today? What's up? What's new? Where are you at?
It was a little warm in here, so I had to turn on the air.
Okay.
As far as the IHOP thing, I guess I feel vindicated because I didn't realize that they changed the name back, and that was my thought all along, that this was a marketing stunt.
Okay.
So, so that's good. I don't know. I mean, I'm feeling all right. It's Monday, another start of a week. It's July. We're getting close to the start of football season, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm feeling okay. How are you feeling today?
Feeling real well. Had a pleasant weekend.
You did.
Excited to talk home improvement with you.
You did something very pretentious that we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it on air. It was really fun, but it's not necessarily fun to hear about such endeavors.
I wanted to give the folks a peek behind the curtain about sometimes when we don't have something to talk about, what we do. So I typed in home improvement and Tim Allen and went to page about, 12 on the Google search engine results. You get some shady websites in there.
Yeah.
And it's one of those websites that I went to, it had a bunch of those ads for articles that are like, the real reason why Hollywood won't hire David Schwimmer, which I have 2 questions. What's the real reason?
Yeah.
And how many people are actually clicking on those types of
I've seen those all the time where it's like, the real reason Hollywood won't cast Rob Schneider or something. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I think I know the real reason. Like, it probably wasn't that good to start out with. Yeah, you see a lot of those. You also see like child stars where it's like you like. I don't know,
Where are they
cute,
now?
Like cute kids. You won't believe what Haley Joel Osment looks like now. It's like, I know what he looks like now. He's on Silicon Valley. It's pretty easy to know what these people look like. Yeah, you get a lot of those. I'm always afraid to click on them though because
that's how you get a virus.
Viruses and so on. But
Malware.
we generally traffic in virus links because all the home improvement articles that we click on are from very slow loading websites.
You gotta take what you can get sometimes,
Yeah, definitely. One caveat, this is just on my mind. Jordan, you may want to come up with a gluten-free menu for your Home Podcast, Home Improvement Diner, because I know that's kind of a part of your life.
It is, and I suppose you're gonna do vegan as well?
Maybe one dish, yeah. Maybe
just one dish.
Yeah, just to be inclusive.
Oh yeah, I mean we gotta have something for everybody, so that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do a dairy-free. There's just so much to think about.
I know.
There's just so much to think about.
We have several weeks to do it because we're being vague on when it's going to happen. So
we definitely won't wait till the last minute to do it.
No, we won't wait till the last minute. Yeah, man. I mean, vehicle mate cast. My car's doing well.
Good.
I'm not driving as much now that I work in the city and do public transportation. Mm-hmm. Follow me on Twitter for #Train Talk. But yeah, my car is doing well. Good mileage. Yeah.
What's your Twitter handle so people can follow you?
Is it? I honestly.
You don't know.
I don't know. At Adam. Give me a second. At Home Impodcast and at Adam Ran _90. Yeah, some train.
Just
train
rolls
talk.
Off the tongue.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue. Adam Ran 90.
But yeah, I will vouch the train tweets are pretty good, so worth the follow
for instance,
sure.
I'll just give people a taste.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
The other day on the train, on the way home, which I'm always in, going into work is always kind of a sunny, pleasurable experience. You're drinking your coffee, you're feeling good. Going home is generally not
you're
as
worn
good.
out,
Tired and cranky and hungry and so on. So most of my train talk comes from on the way home. But there was a guy sitting in front of me on the train watching YouTube videos on his phone of just like commercial flights taking off, and he wasn't using headphones, so it was just full volume, just all the all the trains, planes, and automobile sounds, but all the in this case the plane sounds, and he just I don't know, he found a lot of them, and I thought I would get if you were trying to watch like the Blue Angels or like cool planes, but this was just like commercial jets taking off, and they weren't crashing. Thankfully, nothing really exciting was happening, but just a lot of volume, a lot of sound.
Are you able to like sleep before the plane takes off or anything like that, or is it kind of a jarring experience for you? Or maybe he like goes to sleep with the sound. I don't know. I'm trying to think of why you would ever want to watch that. I mean, also, why are those videos on YouTube?
I guess there's something on YouTube for everybody. I was I was on the train, so I was a little bit bored, and I was kind of I was concocting a backstory for this guy, and I came up with, disgraced former fighter pilot, and he watches these plane videos to relive his glory, and I don't know, take solace.
But he doesn't want it to watch the actual fighter jets.
No, because that's too
close
painful.
to home.
Yeah, too painful.
Yeah, too close to home.
Yeah.
So he does just the commercial jets.
And see, we were worried about coming up with things to say, but Jordan, we've done it. We've nailed it.
I don't think it's good, but we've done it
in the most linear way possible. We've done it. It's very streamlined.
So expect more train tweet talk on Vehicle Matecast / Home Impodcast.
All right. I guess we got to talk about this episode.
We do. We're not going to do all the information about alternative titles and stuff. We already did that last episode. If for some reason you're really interested in that.
Wait, you don't have alternative titles?
Did you make 4 more?
I have 5, yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I just assumed we were, we're covering an episode of Home Improvement. Why wouldn't we have alternative titles?
Does that mean you have 9 alternative titles for this one episode?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry for being dedicated to this podcast.
You're too dedicated, man. You're about as dedicated as the guy who's watching the plane videos.
Hey, at least I did this in silence. So I have 5.
I guess feel free to... maybe
you should have come up with them.
5.
Different things happen in this episode. You should have come up with new titles.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You can die on this hill, though.
You can... You can just tell me what you think of all these, but keep in mind that because you didn't come up with any, your opinion is only sort of valid.
Maybe I'll just riff off of them and come up with some other ones.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see.
So the episode is once again called Tool Time After Dark, but this is part 2. So
different. Very different.
It's different. Different enough to do this. All right, so first one, and they're not good. I just did them, so like don't have your expectations too high.
I got one.
Okay, so there you go. All right, my first one is The Night Narcissist.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You want to do your one?
All right, it's bad. How about Philippu?
Philippu?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's bad. Maybe we'll just cut that out.
What is the Philip part?
The Philippines, and then PU because he smells so bad because of all of his farting and.
What does the
belching.
Philippines have to do with anything?
Isn't that what Wilson is barbecuing for?
Oh, maybe. All right.
So this is why we usually wait to do this.
That was good, Jordan. Yeah, I hope you come up with another one on the spot. You should go to Groundlings with that kind of improvisation.
That might.
All right, second one. Barbie. Ew.
Great.
All right, third one.
I like my barbecue one better.
Third one. The Best of Binford. All right. Pretty good, huh?
No.
Nope. All right. Well, they're good. I'm saving my best one for last, but I still have 2 more. This is a singing one. Tool Time. All night long. All night.
All night.
All night. All right. And my last one. I like this. I think you might like this one. Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bassa, Volume 2. Was it worth it? I think it was worth it to get to that.
Yeah, I'm glad you came up with them.
Yeah.
Just for that one.
Yeah, that was
my
worth
favorite.
it. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, that's it.
This is a very strange episode of Home Impodcast.
You get to like
say that?
96, 97, and like sometimes they're just not going to work as well.
And that's where we're at.
Yeah,
so
that's this.
Anything else that you want to talk about that I didn't prepare for?
We covered iHop. We set up what we're going to do in like 3 weeks. I talked about my personal Twitter accounts.
You're kind of hitting all the check marks here.
I'm trying to think. I think that was everything I wanted to do when I woke up this morning, so I'm set.
All right, Good. So I suppose you should talk about where your Hulu episode left off, since it's a little bit different than mine.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Or where this episode began, I guess.
Yeah, so the Hulu thing, it was a little strange. Like, basically, I think, I don't have my notes from last week, but, they're showing the clips. So it's basically like the first series of clips. But instead of, like, having a bookend ending where, he's back on the couch, it just showed, like, a graphic of a brick wall and it rolled the credits.
Okay.
But this one picks up in a way, like it is like kind of almost like a last week on Home Improvement sort of thing. So it is different than yours, and we've kind of struggled with that throughout the last few weeks.
I'm still struggling.
Yeah.
Because where mine starts here on part 2 is there's a clip, and then it kind of goes back to the episode where Jill has fallen asleep, and Tim goes for more food. He's going to make some...
Oh, that's so weird, because mine's different.
Completely different.
Yeah, mine has like a... I guess I can do the introduction once we get there. But yeah, Jordan, I will recycle the joke that I made to you via email that these Home Improvement episodes are like George Lucas and Star Wars, because he's just going back and making changes, trying to get things perfect.
I don't know if that's going to get the same type of backlash.
Yeah, I hope
Is
there a campaign to reshoot this episode like The Last Jedi?
I don't think so. But
that's because
we'll
there's
see.
hardly any women or people of color in this episode, so like racists don't feel the need to go back and change it like they do with The Last Jedi.
Yeah, they're not worried about it.
Yeah.
The Polish people are mad though.
Hamtramck is fuming.
Just up in arms.
Or as you called it last week, Hamtramck.
Hamtramck. I don't know. It was basically the same thing as Amtrak with an H, so, they just take ham on their trains.
Hamtramck sounds like the train I would have liked to have ridden on when I was about 12. All right.
All pork all the time.
So do you want me to say how my episode starts? This is such a pain. Why couldn't they just make them all the same? This is so stupid.
Yeah, talk about how yours starts.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to walk through, this is a clip-based episode, so there are a lot of clips, and there's interludes with Tim and Jill on the couch. So we're going to walk through. I'm going to start. Jordan's going to join in when his starts, and we're just going to kind of walk through what happens with Tim and Jill and eventually Wilson at their house. It is the middle of the night, right?
Sure is. And they're watching some episodes, like you said, some Tool Time clips.
Yep. All right, so mine starts with a voiceover. It's pretty weird. Tim is sitting on the couch, and he's still drinking out of the medicine bottle or whatever, and he's like, "This is how I got here." And then it flashes back to last week's episode, and it shows like all the stuff we saw. He comes home with the Polish food. It's like kind of long too. Brad says the thing about eating chicken, whatever.
Weird.
It cuts up to Tim and Jill in the bed, and Tim asks her to go down. It's just like a abbreviated version of all of that, but it probably takes up like a couple minutes, which is probably why you have 2 more clips in yours, because they cut that out.
Yeah, why? I mean, how do you think this happened when it actually first aired? Do you think it was just the one combined episode like mine is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, do they have different air dates on IMDb? I guess this is April 11th. Yeah, it was the same day. So they aired them at the same time. So anything that they've done here has been, or at least my Hulu stuff has been done, especially for and whatever.
They probably didn't expect people to go back and pick apart the episodes like this. So this wasn't really going to be a problem they were foreseeing. But boy, we've really pointed it out today.
Yeah, we're putting them on blast. So. Yeah, it's they're basically showing what happened at the start of last week, and then it just like ends with Tim going back downstairs to the couch, and then the opening credits roll. So after the credits, we jump right into a clip, but we're not going to talk about the clip yet. The camera zooms out, and Tim is watching, and Jill is sleeping. And Jordan, this is where yours starts, because Tim says he wants to make a kielbasa omelet.
Yeah, so he hasn't learned his lesson. He's gonna go back and eat some more of this food, and poor Jill can't stop him because she's passed out.
Right, yeah, definitely.
It's a shame. And then they do a bunch of more clips, and we move on. There's another interlude here where Tim steals the blanket from his wife because he's gonna go outside. He sees Wilson out there barbecuing.
Are we playing the Wilson clip this week, Jordan?
No, I think we're going clipless again.
All right, fair enough.
2 back-to-back clipless weeks. But Wilson, for some reason, has gotten up in the middle of the night to be aligned with his Filipino friends and celebrate some barbecuing with them. I forget exactly what they're celebrating.
I know there's a joke where I think it's the Zemboyego, and that might be a group of people or a tribe. I don't necessarily know. But Tim confuses it with Zamboni and says he likes to see them clean the ice, and it's really, really funny. As much as funny as it sounds.
As they always are. Wilson's advice in this scene, because Tim shares a little bit of the problem that he has as far as indigestion. Wilson says, "Keep to moderation, keep the end in view," and Tim's reaction to that is to try to eat some more of the barbecue.
Yeah, and then it kind of ends with them being annoyed at each other, like. Wilson's like, "Go to bed, Tim."
And Wilson cuts him off.
Yeah, but I mean, why is Wilson awake barbecuing at 4 a.m? I don't know.
It's not like it's not like we're in the era of the internet where he can like stream his barbecuing. So there's more. I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any visitors there. No. But Wilson's a strange bird.
Indeed. Jordan, next scene. What do you have for the next scene?
So we got some more clips, and then Tim wakes up Jill. Because it's a very important time, he's going to put in the clip of the pilot.
Okay.
The Tool Time pilot. They watch that clip. These are very short interludes here. And then the last thing is Tim falls asleep on Jill. And he's holding like the tape that says Tool Time on it.
Right.
But it's almost like a product placement. Like, he holds it in a way that no one would ever hold it if they were actually sleeping. And the camera zooms in on it.
And that's it. Jordan, highs and lows.
That's the episode. And then obviously what we're going to do now is we're going to go through all those clips that they were watching on Tool Time. Last time we went through your list and your ranking, and then I would talk about where mine fell. We're going to reverse that. We're going to do the old switcheroo here. I'm going to tell you where mine are. And then I don't know if there's going to be any crazy thing like last time where... I just had one. You had it number 1 that that music scene, and
Yeah.
I had it at like 8 or 9, and it kind of broke
Jordan,
broke
that
the
was
podcast for a bit.
That was two things. One, it was stupid, and the second, it was downright embarrassing.
You know,
So
and we don't have
you don't look stupid and embarrassing this week.
we don't have the Twitter feedback yet on that, but we will.
Break
and,
the
I
internet,
can't-
Home Impodcast.
That's right. Yeah, my mailbox is still pretty empty, but
Yeah.
I assume in a couple of days it won't be. So, all right, we'll start with
10 clips, correct?
Yeah, so I had 12 on mine.
Yeah.
The two that were left out of yours, I guess we should mention, is the astronaut clip where they have all those people from the astronaut. I mean,
Bauer socks, great
yeah,
stuff.
are you disappointed that you didn't get to see all of Bauer socks? Should we?
I was glad there were less to rank this time around. I'll say that much. As a whole, you were correct when you said that these are better clips in general. So clips of a higher quality, and I found them more difficult to rank.
I did as well.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
no, Jordan, I did not miss Bauer socks. So
You
I
know-
support NASA, and that's NASA in the Bahamas.
I was gonna say the
It
Bahamas.
didn't sound more like that. I support NASA and NASA, but it was okay that they weren't in this. What's the other? clip?
The other one is the pruning clip where it's a competition between Tim and Al, and Tim just basically cheats.
I can tell you those would have both been, lowly ranked on my list.
They were my number 10 and 11
Okay,
clips,
yeah.
so
So
I'm not sad to see them go.
They knew what they were doing when they cut those out. It seems.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Absolutely.
Jordan. Start us off, and Jordan, you set up your own tier system, correct? Didn't you? Didn't you say you set up your own tier system like I did? Because you're just like you did your own alternative titles.
Yeah, I more did it just like straight power rankings.
Okay. All right.
Like 10 to 1 power rankings,
Okay.
like here it is.
Yeah.
There's no tiers or anything like
nothing
that.
like that. Okay.
As I said, it's harder to rank them, so I didn't find as big as gaps as we had them in the
Okay.
first one.
Interesting.
So,
All right.
but number 10 for me is when Tim falls in the porta potty.
Jordan, that is also number 10 for me.
Good start.
Yeah,
good
that's-
start.
that's
So
great.
I can open
Sure,
up.
yeah.
You know, I've got
do
a
you really need to? I mean, like, it's kind of like self-explanatory. You get why it's bad, and you get why we don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's short. It's, Tim jumps into porta potty. I do have some questions, though, upon watching it, for the 4th or 5th time. Why are people running away from the porta potty as he falls in it?
It's gonna blow. Is this what K and B boys are there, right? Or no?
I believe they're up on the high steel with him.
Yeah, it's really dumb. It just it's so Tim's fall is just so kind of contrived and manufactured and sort of slow the whole process. And yeah, I mean I just don't like it. I don't like the idea of Tim being stuck in that toilet after he's fallen through. It just kind of gross imagery comes to mind. So no, yeah, a bad one for me.
And this was definitely one of the times that he went to the hospital, I would assume, right?
Yeah, I said he saw a white light. Thought this was it.
He just couldn't run toward it because his legs were broken.
Broken. Okay, yeah. All right.
Before we move on to number 9, I have a question for you.
Please. This has never happened to me. No.
Are you eating?
No.
I hear like a plate or something banging.
No.
All right.
Was that your question?
Yeah, that's it.
No, I'm not eating.
All right, good. So I'll move on for you.
I think I know.
I was just leading. I was
think
hoping.
I know what's happening. My headphones are knocking up against something, but I'll try to hold.
Your gold chain that you're wearing?
Yeah, it's my bling. I got a big Home Impodcast medallion.
Now that we're uploading all of our podcasts to YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. I mean, lots of people have achieved YouTube fame, and I think we're just going to be added to that list.
You're so confident in it that you bought a chain ahead of time.
Yeah, I charged it too. I hope I can pay it off in a year or two, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. All right, Jordan, what's your number 9?
Number 9, this is a prank, a Tim prank, and it is the paint color of Al.
Okay, that is my number 8.
So pretty close.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead, have at it. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot to say.
There's a lot to
I mean,
say.
it doesn't really make sense.
There's some early green screen work here. Tim is pranking Al he has a machine that basically can make a color out of anything. He says he wants to make a color Al. He goes to a piece, like a blank canvas basically, and starts painting. And Al's picture starts to show up. So, it's some computer graphics.
Yeah, here's also, I think, what happens before that is Tim, he plugs some things into a computer. And one of
Yeah.
my big complaints with this is just it's a really long scene, and the payoff.
It is long.
And it's just sort of like, I don't really like it when Home Improvement does these kind of things. Like, I know it's a gag, but it's like when they go inside of the car. I don't really like things that defy like any kind of logic or realism, because like, you know, it's green screen work, and I don't know if we're supposed to think that or not. But yeah, he just like paints, and it's a, you know, it's a CGI image of Al. But yeah, it's really long, and the payoff, like, there's a joke where Tim's like, "You're going to be bigger than fuchsia," and it was, hearing that for a fourth time was like you know,
nails on the chalkboard.
Yeah, well, it's just like one of those moments where it's like, why do I spend so much time on this?
I mean, it's one of those Tim breaks which I guess work, but it's just not as good as some of the others that we talked about last episode and this episode
Yeah,
too.
it's dumb.
So, you know, my biggest quibble with this, or quibble, maybe, I don't know.
Quibble, quabble, whipple, wobble.
Potato. Tim is holding the brush very strangely, and as a former painter, I didn't appreciate that.
I didn't notice that, but I did notice how, you know, after he first does the brush strokes, and you kind of know it's Al. They cut to the studio audience, and there's an old man there that looks just like so cranky, and like he's not having it at all, and just like, man, how did I get roped into this? And yeah, it's pretty good.
Poor guy.
I'd like to think I'll get a picture of him, but I probably won't. But yeah, he's not feeling good about his choice to attend the live taping that day.
Much like the payoff of this scene, the payoff of you getting a picture of him is very, very little.
I would say his face was akin to probably everyone else's face listening to this when we did our open today. Very similar.
Perhaps. He is everyone else. So we'll turn him into a GIF or GIF, depending on who you want or how you want to say it. All right, number 8. A scene that felt a bit stilted to me. And that's the stilt scene with Al and Tim. So
fewer surprises this week, as I have this at number 9.
right.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk.
So here's what I have to say about this. I don't remember it happening. I don't remember seeing this before.
Oh, you didn't like it. You didn't like it when we first
I didn't
talked
like it
about
at all? Okay.
No.
I must have blocked it out, you know, in the way like children, when they have traumatic experiences, they block it out. Must have been something like that, because I
Same
have
thing.
no recollection of ever seeing this. You know, it is what it is. I mean, like, it's mnemonic stilts. Al comes out on stilts. They're doing, you know, some kind of a showcase for that. Tim's are mnemonic. He builds them. They lose control, and eventually his head shoots up through the top of the soundstage.
It's very prototypical, like Tim doing Tim things.
Yeah, and like,
and I also
I'm just inherently, Jordan. You know how I'm like inherently kind of interested in karate, or like that's something I need to explore more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't feel that way about stilts. I think that I know everything there is to know about stilts, and I don't have any room in my brain for more.
Yeah, well, my biggest problem is I feel like people in real life just use ladders instead of stilts.
Yeah.
So why are they doing this?
Right, yeah. I guess we're stilted.
Yep, sure are. All right, number 7.
Yep, sure are. Onward and upward.
We're definitely going up the list, so that's good.
Yeah.
It can't get any worse than that. So we did have the same bottom 3, I guess.
We did, yeah.
I will say I think it gets better from here.
I agree. I think it's a big jump from, and you know, Jordan, if you would have done Tears, which you didn't, I think
I would have had the Taylor Cellar.
Yeah, this would have been a definitely a tear up, because these are better clips, to be sure.
So what do we call them? Binford's Basement bargains, because they're terrible.
Jordan, you can call them whatever you want, my man.
This is these top 7 are Tim Taylor's top 7, so that's what they are. It's not a very good name.
MySpace top 7 friends or something.
Yeah, exactly the same. So, be careful where you put it, because if you put someone at number 1 versus number 7,
feelings will be hurt. Gosh,
and
you know, let's just pause for a second. What a all right. I mean, I don't know how old people are that listen to this show. Like, it's really hard to tell who even listens or why. But I mean, if you're on MySpace, like the top friends, like, that's terrible. That's like asking you to rank your friends and like put it online for everybody to see. How insulting! Just a terrible idea.
My favorite were the people who had Tom in their top 8.
See, that's what I should have done. I should have just had Tom at number 1. Like, that would have been like alleviated the whole thing. Jordan, I think I was like number 600 on your top friends. You
No
wouldn't even
way.
rank me. Yeah.
No way. You didn't make the list.
I
Sorry.
know, yeah, I wasn't even in it.
Were we friends on MySpace?
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. Time's
just
a flat circle, but that was a bad idea. It's no wonder Facebook took over. They didn't have a friend ranking system. It immediately put you off on the
It was like the
bad
Hunger
foot.
Games on MySpace. My
I've never
goodness.
seen those movies, nor have I read those books, but I'll
You
take
get the
your word.
idea.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. PETA, right?
You're hungry.
Yeah.
You're hungry.
All right, Jordan, number 7. Back to it. No more MySpace
right.
talk.
No, let's talk about John Binford's send-off.
Oh, okay. So that's your number 7.
That's my number 7.
I had that at number 4.
Okay, so a little bit of
I can talk about it since I probably
You like it a little bit more.
I said I could talk about it. This is the clip where Tim does the 21 nail gun salute. I think it is the episode where I know it's the episode where John Binford passes away, and it starts kind of
The beloved John Binford? Did you say
yeah.
beloved?
Well, he was there when Brad was born. He loaned him money for their house. I think
he donated his own plasma so Tim could live.
I think he helped pass Title IX at one point.
I'm sure he did.
It was. He did a lot of things for everyone, historically speaking. But Binford. This is how Tim, pays tribute to John Binford. So 21 nail gun salute. He's got everything set up. They play kind of stoic music, and eventually things go awry, and the nails shoot everywhere, and Tim has to do like a military crawl on the ground. I don't know. I think I just sort of I like the sentiment. I think it's sort of a clever gag, like combining the funeral and the Tool Time aspects. And even when it goes awry, as it always does, Tim kind of being on the ground and doing a military crawl, I found it kind of funny and sort of charming as well. So.
It was okay. It's a creative send-off, as you said, which is good. You didn't mention the outrageous tombstone that's in the shape of like a hammer.
I don't know if I noticed it this time, but yeah, I remember it from before. Yeah,
I mean, my biggest problem, I guess, is just like the beloved idea of John Binford, even though I remember that he was not ever mentioned. So
but Jordan, we're only ranking the clips. We're not ranking,
some of it just bleeds over, and I can't help it.
Hey, man.
And then a lot of people bled in the scene because,
Yeah, it is true. I heard they lost three lives today on the set.
There's a surprising amount of scenes in these clip episodes
where audience members are just like diving.
They're just running away.
Yeah.
In any
Why
way
would
that they
anyone
can.
ever go?
I don't know. It seems. I mean, they probably have to sign a waiver being around Tim.
Definitely, and we know security is not very tight because Dave Chappelle was able to walk through with relative ease a few episodes back.
Oh, man. All right, number 6. I've got the dropping of the beam here by Tim.
Okay. Wow.
You got the number 1, probably?
No. Let me find it first. It's hard.
So good that you couldn't even rank it. It's unrankable.
Wow. I had it at number 3. Top 3 for me.
Wow. Made it up there. Well, I mean, as I said, these are much closer in ranking than, our previous time that we did this. Less tiers.
Tell me why you think this one's mediocre. Jordan?
It's pretty long.
Yeah.
The jokes that they do have in here aren't particularly good.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I'm thinking about it now. I really only like the car being smashed because of like the production value, but everything leading up to it is boring and not funny. I'll concede that. But watching that car get demoed, pretty sweet.
That was a good part. I liked Tim also, his reaction. Like he took like his little hard hat and covered his heart like it's a funeral and stuff.
Yeah, and they do play like the kind of sad music. There's too many deaths in this clip show. Binford, this car. I don't know.
Where does it end?
It's sad to see these things go.
It's basically The Purge.
The first Purge, now in theaters. I was saying tangent. Sure, why not? The first Purge as a title of a movie seems like something that you would have come up with. Like in a room at, like they're planning the movie, they're writing the script. They're like, just put down The First Purge. But like eventually someone goes back and changes it.
That was the working title, basically?
Like a working title, but they kept it. Like The First Purge. You would have thought they would come up with something, I don't know, like Purge: The Beginning or something. But no,
maybe
The First Purge.
Next week we're going to have alternative titles to The First Purge.
Have you ever seen any of the Purge films? I doubt you have.
No, they're not really my type of thing, but I imagine they're your type of thing. You like kind of the whole anarchy and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of your bag, is it not?
Obvious. You know what, Jordan? Funny thing is, I've never watched any episodes of Sons of Anarchy, nor have I seen any of the Purge films. So
seems strange.
I'm subverting What, that's no
So
wonder
many
I wasn't
expectations.
I wasn't in your MySpace top friends. You don't even know me.
Barely.
Flashback to the episode where we did the friendship test.
I'm glad I had so many chores to do, so I didn't have to hang out with you.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. So you had that at top 3. I had it at number 6. We're moving into top 5 now. It seems to be happening rapid here, but
not fast enough.
No, that's what our audience says.
Hey, we're doing the best we can. These are hard episodes to do.
Yeah. What else were we gonna do during them?
Yeah.
All right. Number 5. I've got the man's bathroom.
Okay. Man's bathroom for me is it's number 2.
If you recall, I never really liked this. And then when I watched it again, I'm still not very impressed with like the sterile design of the bathroom. It's all like steel and cold, and I just need a little bit of warmth in my bathroom. I do like the lazy bowl. I think that's
it's funny. Plush while you flush.
Yeah, and the shower seems too small to me. You can barely move in there, so I don't know. I'm not impressed by this bathroom.
I like it, but I mean, we did talk about this whenever we covered this episode. But it's just like a cool tool time thing that they do. Like every once in a while, they'll roll. Like we'll talk later on about the kitchen, which obviously
we'll talk very soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kitchen. Well, this is my number 2, so I liked it. I mean, I just like the gags. Like, it's basically like the bathroom. Sure, it's not like actually functional, but I don't know. I'm not looking for that kind of realism in Tool Time or Home Improvement. But the gag, I like the gags. Like the TV behind the mirror, the headlights, the toilet, the juke. But like, I don't know. I just like watching Tim and Al kind of.
You just love toilets.
I love toilets. I mean, hey, Jordan, we spend a lot of time on them. Why shouldn't we love them? I just like them moving from spot to spot. Kind of the setup and the gag. And, Jordan, this is classic heightening. And, I liked the bathroom heightening in this one. So, number 2 for me.
I would have liked it better if it was a bidet in there.
Bidet, yeah. I guess I'm not.
That would have been funny.
People that watch Home Improvement probably don't know what bidet is.
No, but it would be a funny joke if they did. All right, number 4. The man's kitchen for me.
Okay.
I have a feeling this is probably higher for you. I think you liked this scene. I know you like Benny.
This is my number 7. So.
Oh no! Okay, I was wrong.
I didn't like
it. Why do you hate it so much?
I mean,
I'm putting you on blast like I did in that interview.
Yeah, you really sold me out to Carmen Finestra. Listen to that, our 100th episode. You can listen to 2 friends just dime each other out for Taste of the Spotlight. No. I don't like this one. It's too long. It's really long, and I don't think the gags are as good as in the man's bathroom. The meat thing kind of grosses me out. Like they just get it flame seared. The only funny part is when Tim, I don't know, he thinks he's getting water, but it's actually like soap, I think, out of the faucet.
I think that's the first one.
Oh, is that the man's?
That's the bathroom.
Oh, really? Okay, well, that's why I liked it more. Man's kitchen, potato. I don't know, just like stupid. I didn't find any of it funny. The potatoes. I'm trying to remember what happens, actually. The potatoes, the meats, the microwave.
Benny.
He puts all the salt on it. Benny getting... I mean, if Benny would have, gotten stuck in there and maybe he would have not been on the show anymore, I probably would have ranked it, better if it was the end of Benny. But
we're never going to get Jim on here now.
He just gets a good cleaning. Hey, Jordan, we don't need if you looked at his Twitter, you wouldn't want to have him on here. He just gets a good cleaning, and that's essentially it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, like, long and kind of boring and not nearly as cool as the man's bathroom. I am
I have them basically interchangeable, I would say.
Yeah, you're nuts. That's
I'm
stupid
insane.
and embarrassing.
I'm keeping my branding then, I guess. I'm afraid that they're gonna get sick eating the meat. It's kind of gross.
It's disgusting. It should have been 10. Like, that's so gross. And I don't know if they even pretend to eat it, but they act like that.
I'm glad they don't. I do like the idea of having your own butcher. There's nothing quite like having fresh cut meat right there. But I don't like any cooking that involves wearing like lead vests and uber thick sunglasses like you're watching an atomic bomb be set off.
Yeah.
So that's a bit strange as well. But I don't know. I did like it a little bit better. I like the aesthetic a little bit better than the man's bathroom. But like I said, they're both about the same for me, and that's why they're at 4 and 5.
Yeah, man. Hey, your funeral.
You
and John Benford's funeral.
Oh, boy. Are you going to give me a 21 gun salute?
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it today.
All right. So number 3. We've got the rocking chair.
Let me find it here. Rocking chair, 5.
All right. So I'll talk a little bit about why I liked it. Tim, it's one of these jokes that I think they play off as unintentional. Tim losing his shirt and then just kind of playing it off, and I really like those. Juxtaposed with him trying to come up with a gag or whatever. This better. Is more natural. He's actually giving good advice here, and this happens, so he just can't win. But, I would say down part for this, or con for this scene is really Al as Elvis. It does not work.
Yeah, but, if I agree with you. I think that Tim losing his shirt and, like, even the effect of it getting ripped off and him not noticing it first and kind of playing it off, like, that's really funny. And if that were just the clip, it probably would have been, top 3. But the Al and Tim doing, like, stupid rock and roll stuff in the beginning of the episode, I hate their stupid bowling shirts. Like, that's not even rock and roll. I said it earlier. Like that, and they're wearing, like, Wayfarers and, like, Converse. Like, whoever wrote this, like, I don't know. It would seem like they would know more about rock and roll because they were probably alive during that era. But, it just seemed like a confusing kind of conglomeration of clothing and outfits. And, the Al doing Elvis stuff, they go to that well like 3 or 4 times, and it isn't good the first time. So
it's a very dry well.
It's a dry well, Jordan. It's
parched.
It's 5 for me, just because of the more because of the intro than the conclusion. But
okay, all right, we're down to my top 2,
all right.
Which I think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you have left. What do you have left on your list? What numbers?
I would rather not say.
All right. Well, number 2 for me is the Tool Time pilot.
Okay. I had this at number 6.
Wow. All right. I enjoyed this. I think I like the Al beardless. I like Tim bearded. I like Mrs. Binford, with her infamous intro with pizzazz where she's like, does everybody know what time it is? And it's kind of what we've come to expect from Heidi.
She plays the organ.
I like that she can't get Tim's name right. I don't know. I just think this is funny. I think it's a good start to the show and kind of creative. And it left me wondering: is Tim's beard real in this scene?
No.
No. All right. Well, I thought it was good enough. I thought it was good enough to pass for me in this episode. But I like this. I thought it was funny. But obviously you didn't. Number 6, you said?
Number 6. The entire, the clip lives and dies by Al being shaved. I think that the only reason they have this at all in the entire, run is so that they can show Al being, having a clean-shaven face and get the audience kind of reaction. Because that's, Tim with the beard, that doesn't really do as much for me. I actually kind of think it looks fake, but, to each their own. But, the like you said earlier, the juxtaposition of Al being shaved and Tim having a beard, I guess is kind of funny. But, to me, the clip goes on longer than it needs to. The organ stuff and just kind of the...
it was too much for you.
It's just I get the joke. It's a shoddy operation, and, Al, he calls him Albert, and, Al thinks Tim is proficient, and Tim has respect for Al. I don't know, I just basically think that this is a 5-minute gag where Al is shaved that could have been about 2 seconds if they wanted it to be. So, I don't see the appeal.
Well, sometimes they struggle to fill these episodes with some good content.
Yeah, we can't relate at all.
All right, down to number 1. This is my very favorite of the 26, actually, if you put them all together.
Okay.
This is the soundproofing segment.
Ding, 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 number 1 for me. Yeah, baby.
Yay! All right, so I'll go first.
Let's gush.
Let's gush right now.
This is your favorite of all the clips, huh?
Of all 26, yeah, this is what I enjoyed the most.
Great.
Would you put that there? I guess you probably would put the music one, right?
Yeah, I would maybe have this at 2, but yeah, it's good.
So it's one of those pranks that works perfectly on Al that Tim sets up, similar to the wood sniffing one. Tim does a really good job of selling the soundproofness. He goes in there and he's yelling and then he shuts it off really well. You would buy it if you were there.
Right, yeah.
Very memorable for me. Again, one of those scenes that even before we started doing this run, I remember this from watching it when I was younger. And I enjoy hearing Al's inner monologue where he talks about how Tim is he shouldn't be the host of the show and he's singing. And it all works for me, really.
Yeah, I like it. It's longer. It takes a little bit, Tim has to go in there and fake it, and then Al. It's longer, but it's effectively kind of setting up what's going to happen. You know, by the time Al gets in there, what's going to happen. But I really love the end of the clip where Tim says, "Al, can you hear me?" And Al, "Yes, I can hear you." I don't know. I love that delivery where he's kind of realizing slowly that Tim's fooled him. And yeah, it's really funny. I mean, it's just it
works on all levels.
It does. Yeah, it's good. It's really funny, and I really didn't have any doubt that I was going to put this one at number one, and I was pretty sure you were going to as well. So yeah, it's Tim getting the best of Al, and just a genuinely good gag. So
boy, what a dichotomy from the last episode when the final clip basically broke our friendship, and now I think we're back on the same page and
getting
prepared.
closer. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm still on top 3. I'm not top 1.
No.
All right.
Well, I'm glad we're done with these rankings, Jordan. Frankly.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get back to a normal episode. That's all. All
that's
26 that we've gone through, and I hope we don't have to go through them again.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever do it. I don't know how. Well, near the end of the run, I bet they do something like this again. But that's a couple years away, so we don't have to worry about it yet.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So I guess we can move over to Sean's social media corner.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so if you want to reach out to us, go to thehomeimpodcast.com. We're on Twitter. We're at Home Impodcast. You can tell us all about those awesome recipes, like we're going to come up with in a couple of weeks. Definitely tweet at us there. Or you can reach out on facebook.com/Home Impodcast. If you'd like to support the show for as little as $1 a month, you can do so on Patreon at patreon.com/Home Impodcast, or give a one-time donation at our website. Adam?
Yeah, Jordan?
What's going on Twitter?
Well, currently loading, but I'm looking forward to telling you what's happening on there.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
It's very slow. Yeah, I mean, I think we can always remember this week as the week the polls died. I'm not doing any more polls ever again. So I hope you enjoyed the polls for the first 97 episodes because we're done with polls. I didn't have a good question, and I knew it. And, fans and listeners of the show, they responded accordingly. So 7 total votes. Which event would you most prefer to attend? 0% said concert. 14% said play/musical. 29% said sporting event. 57% said comedy show. So, we might want to insert some funeral music or something, or a 21 nail gun salute because we are done with polls forever. It's
too many options and not an interesting poll.
Yeah, I'm done with it. Yeah, that's it. So
just wiping it clean.
Yeah, I can't remember if I cried when I read about the day the polls died because that's what this is. We're done.
Well, I'm sad to hear it. I'm even more sad to hear about the number of people who voted because
Jordan, that's why the poll's dead. One of them was me. One of them was you. There's 5.
Yeah, 5 people.
It's done, Jordan.
What are you people doing? It's July.
Jordan, it's a bad poll. I couldn't think of anything better.
All right.
Other Twitter action. Someone shared with us, and I don't remember who, but yes, I do. It was Austin Hancock. He shared with us. It's a Hot Wheels action-packed home improvement. Essentially a car toy. Hot Wheels. And it's Tim is on like a lawnmower, like the lawnmower from the Bob Vila race, and there is a hot rod, and then there's also like a little Al figurine, and it says it's tool time, action-packed home improvement. It's pretty cool. So,
wow. I wish I would have known about that when I was buying a gift for my nephew for his birthday. But
I mean, I'm sure you could find it on eBay, overpriced collector's item, but they're out there.
It might be out there for $500.
For real. Otherwise, not much on Twitter. Like I said, polls are dead, so if you're looking for polls, you better go somewhere else because they're not going to be on this Twitter site anymore.
Is there anything that our Twitter audience could do to save the polls?
No, frankly, nothing.
Wow.
Short of a lot of Patreon donations. I'm done with polls.
Specifically mentioning that.
Yeah,
that's the reason why they're donating.
You have to put in the comments for the polls.
What if people start withdrawing their donations because you're taking the polls away?
Well, that might change things. I mean, also, I don't know, Jordan. You can edit this out if you want, but I'll be okay without the $30 or so a year I'm getting from those donations.
Hey.
But the polls are dead, Jordan.
All right. Well, sad episode, but happy thought, because we don't have to do this ranking crap anymore.
We're done with the
We'll move
ranking.
on to a normal episode next week.
Yeah.
Episode 97 will be Sisters and Brothers.
Okay, yeah. Should we have on all of our sisters and brothers?
That seems like a good idea.
just to complicate things further.
We've already had your sister on, so
I've had my sister on. Yeah, you could have one of your brothers on if you want. Maybe Jeremy.
Yeah, we've mentioned him so often.
Yeah.
It seems like he could make an appearance.
Jordan, do you have a question of the week you want to ask me?
Did we do a question last time?
No.
Okay, good. Good, because it's your turn for the question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can come up with one real quick. Jordan, this episode is about clips. Where do you get your haircut?
I get it down at the greatest of all the clips. Great clips,
yeah,
of course.
Who's your girl? Who's your guy? Who you got?
You know, I just go in. You're gonna call this crazy.
Yeah.
I just go in with whoever's there.
Wow, it doesn't even matter because it's going to end up looking good regardless.
As long as I go on the little thing and it says online check-in 0 minutes, I don't care who's there.
Whoa, online check-in 0 minutes. What's that set you back?
You don't want to know.
Is it more than $15?
You know, I got a problem though, because recently the institute
you got a bad haircut.
No, actually, my haircut's fine usually.
Yeah.
They used to send a lot of coupons in the mail. So haircuts would actually be like $10 or something with these coupons. Now they're wise to all these games, and so they've instituted a system where there's punch cards. You know, you get 10 haircuts and you get a haircut for free. Nobody's doing that. Nobody can remember the punch cards. Nobody wants to remember the punch cards.
Punch cards.
So really, Great Clips is you be careful, Great Clips.
Also, 10 haircut. How often do you get your haircut?
Once a month.
Yeah. Okay. So every 10 months you get a free. I mean, I guess that's
one free haircut a year, baby.
Okay. All right. Well, hey,
Adam, I suspect you get your haircut at a different place.
Well, I don't know, Jordan, if you remember, but when you mentioned that when you dropped the bomb on the podcast about how you'd had a kid all of a sudden, I didn't even know it was coming. You didn't even tell me you were expecting. And all of a sudden you were like, hey, I had a kid. Weird. I said I was growing out my hair, and I wasn't lying. So my hair's continuing to grow, and I'm not getting haircuts for the foreseeable future. So.
Okay, but where did you used to get your haircut at?
Oh, I can't remember. No.
It's been so long.
Jordan, thank you for joining me. Listeners, thank you for listening. Come back next week for a better episode, I would say. We're getting back to form.
Do not put any promises out there that you
It's
can't
going to be
keep.
better. It has to be. I guess I should say take care.
Take care, everybody.